Welcome to mission number 2 of the Beast Kingdoms narrative campaign. So they were able to find out enough information to actually avoid the Spite Forest. Once they all reincarnated, they were able to actually find a way around it because they knew what direction they were going. And they got a couple clues as to what warband may have done all this damage to their home. And Gabby and I are here again today. She had to leave for most of the last battle report, but I think she'll be here for this one. So, we are going to start off with this, and they're walking through the woods, and they're actually following a pretty common trader path, a merchant path. And they hear a bunch of conflict and arguing and some nasty growls and all that coming from up further on the road. So when they get around the bend, they actually see that this is a place called the Teeth, and it's a common path between these two giant mountains or rock formations. And who do they see? Of course, they don't know who this is, but there is an old man there with a bag and a hatchet, if you look closely. He has a bloody hatchet, and there's a little robot next to him, which is his storage container. He appears to be a merchant. None of them have any idea who he might be. And in the meantime, he is surrounded by zombies. And way back there is a necromancer on this cart. And he's going to serve as a locust this game. And each turn he's going to be using summon. And what he's going to do is he's going to let free one of his other zombies. And they're going to come running out here. And these zombies, of course, they're not really zombies probably. Because the undead doesn't technically exist in the Brutal. But what it is these are probably flare virus victims that have completely lost their mind and now they're falling apart and they're all gross. But this person commands them. So what we'll be doing is we'll be playing the mission Grab It, and essentially this person in the middle, whoever it may be, is going to be the main objective, and we have to have the most hit points within 6 inches of him at the end of the game. So we'll see if we can pull that off. Now that the Bestiary and Gauntlet mode has been released for Brutality, I will be using the zombie stats for these zombies, which is pretty cool. And this is a 5-point game. There's the Locust back there, plus these 4 zombies. And the nasty thing about them is they've got 4 hit points instead of 3 for being essentially basic melee. They have slightly worse fight skill, but they get an extra attack for every other zombie within 6 inches. So you see how that will definitely affect the game, and they are downright disgusting. So, watch out. So, the first thing they say, you see Rox, and you see Tuska, and Murmak, and they all go, well look, this guy's just a human guy. Like, he looks like a humanoid. Forget this guy. Just let the zombies eat him. Who cares? And then, of course, it is Sif and Steven that go, you know what, that's just not right. We can't allow someone to just be eaten by zombies for no reason. And you know what? Judging by this trail here, see there's one of their crates discarded, there's a barrel discarded, there's another barrel over there. The tribe that attacked us have definitely been through here. So if he's a merchant, he probably has some knowledge of who might have attacked us. So we should probably talk to him before he's murdered and he's lost forever. He's going to be, reincarnating wherever he last slept. So, after a little bit of arguing, and the zombies getting closer and closer to this man in the middle, they finally convince Tuska and Murmak and Rox to go ahead and intervene. So, that's what we're doing, and this is going to be the start of game turn 1. We won the roll-off on turn 1. Tuska says, you know what, I'm not having any of this. She aims and shoots at this one zombie. She does an unsaved wound and blinds him, which is really awesome. And as you see, they start with 4 hit points. So these guys are pretty beefy. Now, unfortunately, the next person to activate is the Locust here. And the Locust immediately uses his necromantic energy to remove the blinding off this zombie. And then he's going to summon another zombie. Let me get another zombie. He summons another zombie who immediately runs all the way over here. So now they've got a zombie in their midst, and there's another zombie. Now he's going to take a hit point off. The guy on the cart is going to take a hit point off. So he's at 7 hit points now, and this is a 2-wound zombie. So all these summoned ones are 2 wounds instead of 1. And I think that's what he's going to be doing each turn, is making that a critical, because he's a locust. Our next model to activate was Steven the Seagull. He got a critical casting on his time slip, so he gave both of them Seagull awareness, so they've got time slip. And then he put defensive aura on Sif, which was really helpful. And then he cast Curse, so he cursed this zombie, giving him -2 fight skill. So he's only a fight skill of 2 now, which is going to be really helpful. So I think you see we're getting ready to get Sif into this combat, because we're getting her all ready for combat with time slip and aura and all that. And then their next activation, they moved and ran this zombie that was here all the way over to here. And I'm using these tiny baby dice here, we call them baby dice, because they're pretty inconspicuous, and they are very small, because this is going to get ridiculous, me trying to figure out who has activated each turn and who hasn't on the enemy side, as the icon just keeps pumping out zombies. So you see the tiny little dice next to that green one, he's activated, and now he's also activated. So Sif charges at the enemy and is unable to do anything to him except for -2 movement and -2 dexterity, and that's from the aura. He was able to save everything in close combat, even with just a save of 3. And the problem is, these zombies, they get an extra attack for every other zombie within 6 inches. So this guy had 3 attacks, but luckily because of the curse, specifically because of the curse, all 3 of his attacks failed. So then they activated this guy right here. They moved and ran him 1 inch, and then moved him 4 inches. So they're slowly coming at us, and they have way more hit points than we do. So we really, really need them to start dying. Mermac was ready to just charge into combat and rolls a natural 1 to charge, which is sad. And this guy right here moves and runs up. Just knocked the tree over. He moves and runs up. Rox charges up, runs as a free action, and slams right into him with his tackle ability. I just gave him -2 willpower, so that didn't do much. But Rox is able to get 3 unsaved hits on this zombie, and he is able to roll 2 wound chart rolls of criticals and just straight up kills this 5 wound zombie. Actually, this was a summon zombie, but anyway, kills the zombie immediately. And I misspoke earlier, actually. The zombies start out at 5 hit points unless they're summoned, so he's at 3. We did 2 unsaved wounds, but regardless. They activated the zombie that was right here. He moves and charges Rox. Thanks to Gabby's good rolling, he did 3 damage to us, and she was able to save 1 of them, critically save another one, and miss 1. So the critical obviously goes to the 3rd save. So Rox is completely unharmed. He's able to do a knockdown and 1 damage on this zombie. Beginning of turn 2, they win the roll-off, so the icon activates first. He successfully summons a zombie. He makes it a critical roll, so this zombie right here with the red dice is now summoned. He's got 2 hit points instead of 1, which is bogus. And then our first activation, he also healed this guy from 3 to 4 hit points. So we're running into a bunch of zombies here. Right now, they've got 18 hit points that could get within 6 inches of the objective versus our 15. So we really have to try hard on this. Unfortunately, old Gabby's rolling. The Tuska aimed at the guy on the ground, so she was getting essentially rear arc, and she aimed. She hit him, and he critically saved one of the saves, so that ended up making 2 saves. That is upsetting, because I was really hoping to maim somebody. So this guy was knocked down. He gets up and fails the charge on Rox, so Sif countercharges and is able to give him a blinded and 1 unsaved damage. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. And she ended up having to use her time slip in order to save all of his damage. Alright, I was so excited I had to just start recording ahead of time. So this zombie right here charges into Sif. She gives him a damage unsaved just from the aura. She strikes him before he gets too close and gives him an agony, which was pretty awesome. So now he's 4 hit points. But he attacks her with 5 attacks because he's got so many zombies near him. 5 attacks. And he hits with all 5 attacks. And do you know what I just rolled for her 1 through 3 save? A 3, a 3, a 2, missed 1, but got a critical. She saved all 5 attacks. Do you remember when I said she was awesome in the last mission? She just proved it further. Might as well, since I'm here, I might as well just roll her 1 through 6 hit. She hits, 4 up, and he saved it. So I'm used to telling Gabby which numbers we want. So that's why I said 4 up, because he's a 1 through 3 save. But anyway. Steven activates next. He moves up. He critically time slips again, giving him and Murmak a time slip. He gives an aura to Sif, and he fails his roll for a curse on one of the zombies, and then critically fails his roll for a barrier. That was his last action. Then this summoned zombie charges Rox. He's not able to do any damage to Rox, and Rox does nothing back to him. Man, we have had quite a fist fight. Gabby and I were so excited. So Rox, he's only got 2 hit points because he was summoned. But this guy, I think, was at full health. So we ran Rox around and successfully charged him. And Rox was able to do 4 damage on this guy in 1 turn, which was amazing, and knocked him down. But unfortunately, he gave Rox 3 burning tokens and an agony in return. Well, then that zombie activates and gets up and charges Rox and is able to do 1 fail. One hit on Rox, and Gabby needed a 1 through 3, and she rolled exactly a 3. We both cheered. It was quite exciting. And then Rox is able to smack him in the head and actually kill him. So Rox has lost 2 hit points, but he's taken 5 away from their team. So that's pretty darn good. Hopefully he does not succumb to his flame when he activates again.
3 5s, 1 8, and a 10.
So Murmak charges into him, and he's able to kill the summoned zombie with no ill effects whatsoever. Then this zombie that was next to Santa charges into Rox, and he gets 5 attacks, 1 through 4s. Look what Gabby just rolled. We both were so excited. He missed all of his attacks. We might as well just do it on camera, get his 2 attacks back, and Rox needs 1 through 6s. Go ahead. Well, he failed both of them, but you know what? He's pretty injured anyway, so he's not feeling too hot right now. But anyway, that zombie did not kill Rox, which Rox only had 1 hit point, so that's awesome. This is the beginning of turn 3 out of 4. The Locust activates first. He summons another zombie, the one with the red dice there, and then he heals this zombie with the green dice. He was at 3, now he's at 4. And then we activated Tuska. Tuska moves up here, and she's able to, with her 2 shots, she rolls 1 critical hit on that zombie with the 4 hit points, and then she rolls, he fails all of them, dealing 3 damage, and then she rolls a 10, and she just straight up murders this zombie immediately. 4 hit points gone, which was huge. So I'm glad Tuska pulled something out here. Their next activation is this zombie right here. He charges in, and out of 4 attacks, he fails 3 of them. Now, I'm just recording this to see if Gabby can pull off a 1 through 3 save on Rox again. Nope, Rox is dead. That's sad. At least roll the 2 attacks back. Maybe we can do something to the zombie. 1 through 6. He hits once. You want 4 or higher. Hit him in the head. Nice! Okay. Now roll as high as you can on that wound chart. Rox needs to clobber him. We want a 10. 6 isn't bad. 6 on the clobber is -2 movement. So, this zombie right here only has a movement of 2 now instead of 4. So that's not too bad. Our next activation, we did some fancy rolling, and Sif charged into that zombie, gave him another agony, and lost a hit point off him. And Gabby was able to save another 1 through 3 save, which is fantastic. Then they activated this summon zombie, charged Sif, and he needed a 2 or higher to charge, and Gabby rolled a 1. We are very excited about this. The odds were definitely not in our favor, and we're slowly turning the tides with Gabby's good rolling. Now, all along during the battle, now the zombies are gone, we're thinking, why isn't this guy fleeing? Like, maybe, you figured he'd run away or something. He's just sitting there. It seems to them like he's trying to do some sort of magic, perform some sort of magic, but they're thinking that this guy is somehow preventing him from fleeing. They're not sure how yet. So, we'll figure that out in a minute if we can actually win this battle. Wow, we've got some more fantastic rolling from Gabby here. So Murmak decides to charge into this zombie. She does a critical charge. She rolled a natural 10, and she gave him trauma. So she broke the save on this zombie. He's only got a 1 through 1 instead of a 1 through 3. I don't know why I said 1 through 1, but you get what I'm saying. Then he struck and attacked. He dealt a couple wounds unsaved to him, and we also did a bleeding on this zombie, which is fantastic. The zombie strikes back, and we rolled a 2 for the save. So Mermac is uninjured, didn't even use his time slip, and the zombie moves backwards, and things are looking good. So we might as well roll the 2 willpower rolls for this zombie over here. He's got agony, so he's got to make 2 of them. So they started at a willpower 8 because they're zombies and not easily scared. But he's actually taken -3 to his willpower. So roll a 6 or higher. Nope, he passes one of them. Roll again, 6 or higher. Oh no! He actually passes both of his willpower, his agonies. That is unfortunate. Go ahead and roll 2 up to charge Sif. Yep, he gets in. So now 2 wound chart rolls as high as you can. A 7 and a 2. A 7 is blinded, so we blinded this zombie. I think he's already been blinded once before, but he's blinded again. And a 2 is disarmed, which is nice. So we won't be getting wound chart rolls. Now he gets 2, plus another one for the charge, plus another one for that other zombie. Here you go. So 1 through 4s. Actually, you want 5 or higher. Okay, well that's good, but the 1 is going to count as 2. So now Sif needs 1 through 3s. Come on, you've been doing good on these rolls. 1 through 3s. Saved 1, lost 1. That's not bad at all. And because she disarmed him with the aura, she's only going to take a wound, and she's not going to get any wound chart rolls. So, you know, honestly, that could be much, much worse. She's going to back up her 2 inches, and definitely could be much, much worse. This is the beginning of turn 4, the very last turn. So, of course, the Locust cannot move for any reason. So, it tries to heal the blinded off this orange dice guy and actually fails, but it fudges the dice, so it loses a hit point. It's down to down to 4. And then he summons another zombie right here with the blue dice and makes it a critical, obviously, so it's 2 hit points again. So right now, currently, they did have 2 hit points and then 2 more within 6 inches of here. Then we used the feat from our stealth ability and added 6 inches to Tuska's movement. So she actually moved a full 12 inches around and shot this guy in the back, right? He's got a ton of minuses to his dexterity. He's just a dexterity 1 now because everything's a minimum 1. And I told Gabby, don't roll anything but a 2 or higher. Don't roll 1s. You get 2 shots. Don't roll 1s. Yeah. So Tuska somehow misses that zombie completely, even though his dexterity is nothing now. But currently, it's 4-3 as far as the number of hit points we have within 6 inches. This summoned zombie moves back and charges Tuska, doing no damage to her, and she does nothing to him, unfortunately. Then Mermac moves and charges that same zombie that just attacked her, and is able to do 1 unsaved wound to him and -2 movement, which is really irrelevant at this point. And we had to use our time slip in order to save the damage from the zombie. So now we currently have 2, 3, 4, 5. The zombies have 5 to our 6, so we're currently winning. Their next activation, this zombie moves over, charges Tuska, and deals a wound to her. You really can't read that dice, unfortunately. It's a 2. So she's got 2 hit points left, and she does nothing back to him. We get Sif. She's got a 10-inch movement, so she moves all the way over here and tries to charge in, and we roll a natural 1 for the charge, so we needed like a 4-inch charge, I think. Luckily, Sif is within 6 inches of it, but she couldn't charge and deal any damage. Alright, so he activated first, and he was standing right about here, and he lost a hit point from the bleeding, but he didn't care, and he was staying just outside of Steven being able to walk past him between these 2 zombies, and Steven couldn't just go up there and do that to get within the range. So Steven had to charge him. which is not a great prospect for poor Steven because he's only got 2 hit points, and this zombie is going to be having a equal or better fight skill and more attacks than him. He was able to do nothing on the zombie because the zombie rolled a 1 to save, which is ridiculous. And then the zombie did 3 hits on Steven. Steven's only got a 1 through 3. Gabby rolls a 1, 2, and a 5, and the 1 is a critical. So he saved everything and was able to push that zombie back. So that is pretty awesome. Now the last one to activate is... Boy, this is really close hit points wise. The last one to activate is him. So we're going to activate him now. Alright, for the last activation, right now the only one that's not in combat is within the 6 inches is this guy. So we are leading 2, 4, 6, plus 3 is 9, and they have 3, 6, 7, 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to 9 is what we have. But we've decided that if he can charge Mermac, he will be able to push him that way after the combat, and we might be able to move Mermac out of the 6 inches, and then we will tie it 6 to 6. That's the only thing they can do. So go ahead and roll. Hold on. What do we need to charge? I don't have a tape measure with me. He needs 4 inches to charge. So Gabby, we want a 1 through 3 for this zombie. 1 through 3, just 1 dice. 1 through 3. No! He critically comes in, bam, slams into Mermac, and roll the wound chart. Roll as low as possible. Okay, so I wanted this all to be in 1 take, but somebody walked in. So let's go ahead and roll for the crushing wound chart. Roll for the so it's 1 dice. Roll as low as possible for this guy. He got a 4. Crushing is -2 dexterity. It really doesn't matter to Mermac. It's the last turn of the game. Now the zombie is going to be getting 3 total. No, actually 4 attacks. Oh my gosh, 1 through 3 because he's been injured. So 4 or higher. I mean, woo. So we wanted 4 or higher. So 3 of them are misses, but that's a critical. So 2 hits. Poor Mermac. Roll 1 through 3s, please. You really want 1s to save it. 1s, 1s, 1s. Okay, saved 1 of them, so Mermac is down 1 hit point, and then Mermac strikes back. So 1 through 6s, go ahead, bite him. Go ahead. Ugh, 1 fail and 1 success. So go ahead and roll the 1 through 3 for this guy. He fails it. Wound chart roll. 10. 3 is face gash. Who cares? Alright, so let's do some fancy measuring here. So Mermac is down. How many did he lose? 1? I think it was 1. So he's down to 2 hit points. And he's got to get 2 inches away. Actually, that guy should have been a little farther. He's got to get 2 inches away from this zombie. And he's got to move backwards. So, 2 inches or 2 inches. He actually can get into this cubby right here. That will be... Oh, he did 1 damage to the zombie, right? Yeah. Alright, so... Now let's see who is still within 6 inches. I think Mermac is still within 6 inches. I can't be certain. So, let's do the final countdown. We've got... Steven is definitely within 6 of Santa. So that's 2 hit points for us, or 2 victory points. And Sif is definitely within 6. So that's 4 total. And Tuska's definitely within 6. Is Mermac... Yes, Mermac is still within 6 inches, if you see here. So, that is 2, 4, 6, 8 for us. And that is 2, 4, 5. 5 to 8. We've won our second battle. That is amazing.
Yes.
And at this juncture, the... You're excited. At this juncture, the Necromancer's like, you know what? I'm not winning this. I'm just gonna go elsewhere. So he goes over there and leaves his zombies. And these zombies eventually go, oh, wait for me. He bleeds out because he's got bleeding. And then these kind of run off and chase their leader because they they need his approval. Alright, so then everybody comes around. Like we said before, Murmak and Tuska really did not want to help him at all, so they're going to sit out of this conversation. But Sif and Steven both greet the man, who seems to now be freed once the necromancer's all gone. And he says, "Thank you so much for helping me." And he's got a real deep, jolly voice. They've got no idea who he is. And he asks them, "Do you know who I am?" And they go, "I have no idea, white man, but listen, I need you to tell us exactly what you know about the cannibals." And he essentially says that, he does have an idea where they went, and he's going to tell them that will be the next mission. But before he leaves, he says he's got presents in his sack, and he's got presents in his little gonk droid traveler here. And let's see what type of merchant this Santa person is, and he's going to give somebody a free item just for helping him. Alright, so that means he is a arms dealer. Alright, well, let's see what Santa's going to give us. Everything is numbered so that it can be random if you want it to be. And he's going to give somebody a present for helping him. A 3! Somebody gets a targeter lens. The bearer rerolls unmodified melee hits of 9 and 10. So, one of them is getting a targeter. And you know what? Because Murmak was so mean to him, I think Sif is going to get the targeter. Because she's already a fight skill of 6. So if she's re-rolling unmodified 9s and 10s in close combat, then she's going to be pretty reliable. And now I kind of feel like this is just a moment to prove to Murmak that, you know what, not all humanoid creatures are mean. And so Sif gladly accepts the targeter lens. And that is the end of this mission, so let's go on to the home phase. Alright, at the end of the battle, Murmak got 3 victory points, and that puts him at 4. Actually, I have to... Okay. And he learned the passive skill Scavenging, which he did get. As you can see, it's on a 6-up. He got 1 gold for the group, that's nice. He also got +2 to his movement. Tuska got 3 victory points from her surviving and the 2 hit points she had left. And she did not get any connections. I think she got an extra 2 inches to her movement is what I gave her. And Steven got 3 more experience, and he got +1 to his willpower, which is nice. And Sif got 3 more experience, and she got she actually got to be upgraded. Oh, so did Tuska, that was the thing. Tuska is now a sentry, so she can shoot people if they end a move or run or charge or whatever within 4 inches of her, which is nasty. And then Sif is now a scout, so she gets +1 to basically all of her stats if she's in or on cover or terrain, which is nasty. Even attacks, so she'll be 2 attacks in close combat. And now she also has that she also gets a free movement at the beginning of each game. And she's got the targeter lens now, so she's a fighting skill of 6, but she rerolls 9s and 10s in close combat. So she is pretty gross right now. And finally, Rox just got 1 experience, which leveled him up to be getting an extra fight skill. And then you can see that he rolled on his execution. He did kill a model this turn, so on a 7-up he gets another experience. And that's exactly what he got, so he got a free experience for that. Sif failed her inspiring roll. And Tuska could not find any connections this turn. But then we went exploring, and we rolled on that. We got a 7 on that, and I decided Sif was the leader before I rolled. And unlocked potential is what we got. So she actually gets a free power, 6-inch power, and I chose Time Slip. So whenever she feels like it, she can Time Slip herself. Actually, you know what? I'm going to erase that. I think I have literally no healers in this group at all. I'm going to go ahead and give her healing for a clutch ability. And she's a monk, so I feel like maybe she can focus energy or something like that and heal friends or allies or herself. So anyway, this is our second victory. Believe it or not, 2 out of 2 we have won in this game, in this campaign. And these guys have still turned out to be a really great group. They have fired on all cylinders these last 2 missions, and me and Gabby had a lot of ups and downs. We enjoyed ourselves, and that is what it's all about. So hopefully you enjoyed our technically Christmas episode, And and what's exciting for me is I got to use one of the new merchant specialties in the Dreadmore's Gauntlet or the Bestiary book that just came out. So that's exciting to me. If you saw any marks or whatever in the copy that I was showing you on the screen, that's because that's one of my proofreading copies. So I had some stuff. My real official version is still in the mail. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please share it or something. And if we could get more views on these, that would be great. But other than that, I will see you next week.